So now I wanted to introduce to you our next speaker, who is Patrick Monfray. Patrick Monfray has been vice chair for the last 2 years in JPI Climate, and since 3 weeks now he's the actual current chair of the Joint Programming Initiative on Climate. Patrick is also the proposed chair for our planned ERANET, which, as you heard already, is part of Horizon 2020 and also part of this climate services roadmap. And Patrick will inform you about our plans now. Welcome, Patrick.
Thank you. So I will present. Please. Dagmar, the PowerPoint, it's maybe there is some. It's error.
Sorry about that. Let's go. Oop. Okay. Hopefully that's okay.
So I will present from the research side of climate services and the contribution to the implementation of this European roadmap. Under the, I would say, the supervision of JPI Climate, we have set up a consortium to drive an ERANET for 2016-2020 for the next 5 years. On European research area for climate services. This consortium is made of a mixing of countries. Of course, there is 16 countries involved, but there is 41 partners, and we have a mixture of research funding organization, 12 funders, with 28 research performing organizations. And it's a specific ERANET where we are mixing, and I think it's quite innovative to have both funders and performers within a same consortium. So basically that means in practice that the funders bring cash in the systems, but the research performers bring their in-kind support in the systems. It's a little bit complex, but that could provide a potential to along the change between the research community up to program managers and funders. By the way, it's still open for funders and performers. Particularly, we are still targeting more Eastern countries, new member states. So I don't want to detail here. That's basically the list of the different agencies, funding agencies or performing organizations, and potential support from them. It's not at this stage. It's just a proposal, so they're never assigned to give this money. It's a potential money. So basically, what we have raised within this ERANET up to now, it's a potential support up to 70 million euros. Basically 40% from the funder side and 60% from the research performing organization. We will not use all these 70 million because in practice you have to open a call to select a research team, so that means in practice there will be some countries that will be overcommitted in terms of budget, and some will be undercommitted, so we cannot spend all this potential. But we are targeting basically to contribute up to 50 million euros, and that will be co-funded, we hope, if Commission agree. We are waiting the output of our submission to the Commission with a potential 25 million euros from the Commission. So basically it's quite classical ERANET. That means it's first dedicated to a joint call, transnational call in Europe. There is some specificities because we have both cash and in-kind, so that means in practice we have two different topics, one for the cash, one for the in-kind, that will be prepared with distinct topics. The call will be issued next year. I will give you a schedule on that. And after the submissions, that will be the two-step, and what is particularly important to ensure the overall coherence for in-kind project and cash project, we will use an independent expert committee and the same expert committee that will evaluate the full picture of the project that we will receive. Of course, after the selection, the funded project will be followed, monitored, up to valorization, communications, and impact. So basically, ERANET is 5 years. We open to support project for 3 years and up to the end of ERANET 2020. In addition, we have additional activities. These additional activities that we want to develop will be particularly to map both national and international initiative in climate services and research climate services, with strong link in particular with other European initiatives as JPI Climate, Copernicus, for example. I will give more detail on that. Of course, we need a strong coordination between the different packages. Here's the governance. I don't want to detail too much. Just more emphasis the green boxes, that's the different boards that we will use. So the independent scientific evaluation committee, but on the right side we will use also a transdisciplinary advisory board from JPI Climate, plus representative from JPI Climate and Copernicus. And of course, with strong link with Commission and JPI Climate. What else? What I could give you as a flavor, because up to now the core text has not been draft. We will do that during autumn with the different cash consortium and in-kind consortium. So, but we have yet a broad separation. The cash is targeting co-development for user needs and action-oriented project. So it's really promoting user-driven climate services and stimulate research relevant for that. We are targeting large mobilization in academics, including interdisciplinaries, particularly targeting social sciences and humanities, and make link transdisciplinary project also that link with field actors. The typical size of our instrument could be between €500,000 to €5 million that complement bigger objects that, for example, are promoted by European Commission over €7 million. Of course, all projects need to have a clear European added value. For the in-kind, it's different. For the cash, we expect it's a two-step procedure. We expect that will be a highly selective process for the cash. Maybe a 1 on 5 or 1 on 10 project will be selected, depend the pressure, of course. But for the in-kind, it's totally different. It's within the different member states. There is a lot of national climate services that are developed with the different countries, with different structures. Some countries centralized, some other countries delocalized. And what we want to promote here with in-kind topic with this ERANET is to promote institutional integration of research component of those national climate services. So that means that will be subjects that will integrate the research at institutional level between key players, the research platform organization in our consortium. So it's developing common tools and methodologies. It's propagate climate scenarios, viabilities, and uncertainties associated. It also provide local information on impact for some specific sectors. So I don't want to go more in detail. I have no time for that. But I think it's important to show how this ERANET will be placed or located in a more global European perspective, and including the European roadmap presented by Marco. So we have tried to do that. it's a figure now quite complex. It has been improved over the last months with interaction with Commission, but also with KIC, with Copernicus. That still need to be improved, but basically it's showing the many different components that you have to deal with concerning climate services. So here on the left you have the research side, the basic research, and the need for the research. And here, at the right side, the user communities with a different aspect from civil society to public or private sectors. And what we want to emphasize with this ERANET, it's a green color here, it's to develop and strengthen the climate information translation between, I would say, the climate providers or purveyors with linking with the user community, and particularly emphasize this user demand on climate services. So with a special focus on impact, associating also uncertainties, impact of climate variability and change, but also associated not only climate scenarios, but also scenarios of socioeconomic scenarios, and how together they make sense for the different sectors. Of course, as I said, we want also to promote analysis from humanities and social sciences on the aspect of development of climate services, but also we want also to have a quality assessment, to develop a research field on quality assessment of climate services. I think it's really important to have climate services that are labeled or qualified in terms of usefulness for the field actors, for the different sectors or community. And I think it's something that particularly important for all of us. The other color, I don't want to detail, but in brief, yellow corresponding to some European Commission tools, H2020. The JPI Climate actually is making a call. It's in blue, actually, on improving climate predictability from months to decades. It's a joint venture, I would say, between JPI Climate and Monfray, it's an international funding networks. There is also Copernicus and Violet and more on the right side, link with the private sectors on key climate. So in terms of timelines, we are targeting to open the call March 2016 and have a kickoff of the funded project June 2017. So that's the plan. So there's still a lot of job to do within the consortium. One slide on the additional activities. We want to go further to this call to better look at what are the different existing activities within the different national at a national level of the member state. We will revise the different JPI climate activities. JPI climate activities have yet started since 2012, these activities at national level, but we want to engage more the research performing organization on that, and we want also have also better mapping at international level, including European level. So we want to, basically what we want to propose is in 2016 to develop a better mapping on what is ongoing, there are many initiatives. Dedicate 2017 to make an analysis on synergy or mismatch between the different components and develop a joint vision. This thing is that will be not made only with this additional activity of this ERANET, that will be strongly linked also to a CSA, ECOMS2, actually submitted to Commission, that link also JPI Climate, Key Climate, Copernicus, and other key players, including a large European Commission project. And so it's to have a joint vision for research relevant for climate services and make recommendation for new activities in 2018, 19, 2020, including, for example, pilot experiment of co-alignment of national activities. It's a key things that we want to promote, not only transnational goal, but alignment of national activities within performing organization. So I won't stop here. Definitely we need ideas from you, the users, to improve how we co-design our activities, how we co-design our call, but also we want also to attract users to participate on the research project and co-produce. And so we are really open to any ideas to improve that. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, I'm Jean-Noël. I'm actually the next speaker. I liked your mapping of the, which illustrates the complexity of the galaxy.
The rainbow.
Yes, the 50 shades of whatever. My question is really because as a coordinator of Copernicus Climate Change Service, I'm still not so clear about how do we define the interfaces, the collaboration, the coordination. We speak about it, you speak about it, I speak about it, but there is no real formal framework to do this. So I don't know if it's an action that we should put on the Commission, different DGs maybe, to establish this. Or are we happy with a project like ECOMS, which will sort of achieve this maybe in an informal way? So I would like to hear your view about this.
It's a very good question. I think we have to start informal and to develop trust building between the different actors. And also, if you look at beyond H2020 or behind Copernicus or behind JPI Climate, it's always member state. But if you look at that national level, it's different actors. Often it's different actors. So we need to have also a better coordination of the different national actors contributing to Copernicus, JPI Climate, or influencing program committee of different DGs, and I think it's crucial. So CSA comes to could play for that, but definitely we need to go to action and to have better interface. And so for me, it's not just an exchange of information; it's really also to co-design between the different European initiatives. But it's a real job.
Yes, thank you. My name is Christine Bunter from Wageningen University Research Center. I'm very interested in the institutional call, the in-kind call that you present. You mentioned something about how competitive the cash call will be. How will that work with the in-kind call?
2 and 3. So that will be not, it's really totally different. The research performing organization, basically, they will, basically we are asking the research performing organization to, if a project is selected by the independent scientific expert committee, they have to finance this project. So that means that we are asking overcommitment of research performing organization, but we cannot ask them to have a factor 1 on 10 or 1 on 5. So basically, the research performing organization, basically, first they will draft their topics. So that means the research director of the different performing organization, together the top research director, have to define what are the common object of interest between different research performing organizations where there is a clear interest to promote joint projects with their in-kind support. So that will be for fall. In fall, basically there is 4 months for the 28 research performing organizations to identify what are the common objects they want to promote together. It's not asking them to agree at 28 level, but it's just could be we are including, for example, bilateral cooperation. So in these systems, so that means it could be a relatively large suite of subtopics in this thing. So the first step is between the research director of performing organization to define what are the common objects that we want to open a call for our research teams. The second step, consortium of research teams, transnational research teams, have to answer to these different subtopics opened with the in-kind. The third thing that will be evaluated by an independent scientific expert committee. And this scientific expert committee, they will evaluate also the cash project. And we will asking them to use the same excellence and quality control. So that means if the project from the in-kind side are not don't reach enough quality, we will not fund them. So when I said potentially the research organization can support project with a selection of 2 and 3, it's basically if they have reached enough quality and excellence. So it's something like that. So it's an interesting experiment. For me, what is particularly important that the expert committee, the members of this evaluation committee is not nominated by the performing organization because there will be highly conflict of interest. The evaluation committee is nominated by funders, by research funding organization, and performing organization agree because funding organization have a long experience on evaluation committee.
Okay, very briefly.
It's a little bit long to explain that. So.
I'm just curious, you spoke about the focus on the climate impact models and especially with the socio-economic scenarios. To what extent will that also include development of the models, or is it only using the models in order to make projections and provide climate services, so to speak?
Yeah, I think what is particularly important is that there is that the development of the modules should be relevant for the user needs. So we have to start from the user needs and because there are always development of different modules to develop, but we are expecting some priorities in terms of research development driven by the user needs, but that need to be explicit.
Okay.